Hey, it's Tim. Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Okay, today I'm in a 2022 Honda Passport Trailsport. A lot of sports going on, maybe not so much sport behind the wheel, but let's talk about this vehicle. So let's go ahead and I'm heading out to a friend's farm. I want to see if I can throw my drone up today in western Nebraska. The wind's blowing like crazy. We'll see what we get. But I want to take the farm because I want to show you guys really what this trail sport is meant for. So first of all, let's break this down. We have a Honda Passport. So this is a two-row SUV. It's like an extended two-row SUV where the Honda Pilot is your three-row SUV. This is the trail sport trim, which means a couple things. It's not just stickers, not just tires, things like that. It's a lot more going on here. So number one, we have 8.1 inches more of ground clearance, which is pretty important, and especially my neck of the woods, where we do get blizzards, we get snowstorms, we get go down dirt roads that are washed out. A lot of situations where you just want a little more ground clearance because the conditions aren't that ideal. And you don't want to use like an air dam up front as a snowplow. You kind of want to get over the snow. We also have some unique wheels on this, which are unique wheels and tires, which I'll show you specifically to this brand, to this vehicle. A little bit 10 millimeter wider track, which is important for a little bit more stability off-road, more about stance. We also have a new rear bumper, which is kind of cool, and a new sheet metal from the A-pillar Ford, which again, I'm going to hop out here in a little bit, take one for the team, and try to show you guys that. I may not be able to use the audio though, because it is whipping out here. We also have true torque vectoring, which I think is really important to discuss. So this, what it'll do is if you have rear wheel slippage, right, so this is all-wheel drive, if you have that rear wheel slippage, it'll send 70% of the torque from the front to the rear, and then it'll evenly distribute 100% of the torque from tire to tire. And that makes a big difference when you have one tire spinning free or whatever. It just gives you that, come on Tim, get over here, gives you that little bit more confidence when you're in a situation like snow, ice, mud, going through a wash, whatever, to give you that, like again, confidence to maybe, well, get home. Getting home, most important. So what I like to do, I'm going to give this family farm, I'm going to try to put my drone up there because that's probably my best footage. I kind of talked about the exterior as best I can, and then we'll talk about this interior, and I kind of give you my thoughts on this Honda Passport Trailsport. I can tell you, it's been a big hit this week. My wife spent some time in it, and I was spending time between the trip I took with doing a business trip, and people love Hondas, and my wife's family loves Honda. And really the reason for it comes down to they tend to be really reliable vehicles. It's like Toyota, Nissan, and Honda are all kind of in this grouping of what I would consider Japanese brands that are really reliable. And I know Honda's got a lot of American operations. Toyota's got a lot of American operations. Nissan's got a lot of American operations. I'm just kind of stereotyping a little bit here, but I just find them to be really reliable. And in this case, with the Honda Passport, you find that the layout of everything inside the cabin is pretty well done, and you have a lot of storage bins and storage places and things that just fit most drivers. And I think that's where Honda wins, is they're not, to me, they're a very conservative brand. They're not very edgy in all their styling, not very edgy in their features. They don't change things up very often, and they listen to customers. Like most journalists and most customers bitched for a long period of time that there was no volume knob, and it was a swipe of the screen, whatever, and it just didn't work. And what Honda do? They listened to it and they put the volume knob back in their vehicles. So I think that's really important. I find a lot of other brands are always doing funky things, and then they're not apologizing for it, not saying anything, and all of a sudden they just keep doing it. And it's like, come on, guys. You know, if journalists on a whole are going to complain about it, consumers are going to complain about it, well, make the change. That's a good business practice. But, you know, my wife's family has owned Hondas for years. My wife and I had a CR-V for years and years, and the things just run. And I think at the end of the day, that's probably the most important thing. So, and again, fits most people too. I got plenty of headroom here. I'm 5'7". The seats are comfortable. I got a little armrest going on. It's decent performance. This is a 268 horsepower, excuse me. It's not like, oh my gosh, throw you back in the seat kind of performance, but it's fine, you know. I mean, it's got 268 foot-pounds of torque. I wrote it down. Anyways, I'll put it on the screen when I get my numbers accurately, but it doesn't have wow factors. Again, in horsepower and torque, fuel economy, right now I'm averaging 18. This is supposed to get 19 city, 24 highway, 21 combined. Is that amazing? Not really. Is it work for most customers? Yeah. So again, I think it's those pieces that Honda does really well. And I may go film this because I have to go over this little ditch here. And it's a good example of what this Honda Passport, to me, is really meant for. Honda Passport Trailsport. Isn't that a mouthful? That's a total mouthful. Okay, drone in position. Snow mode engaged. This looks flat on camera, but you gotta trust me, it is not flat. Oh, I gotta put it in drive. So this is what I'm talking about. That situation right there where you're driving through an area and the weather's not ideal, and well, you just got to go for it because you're on the way home or snowstorm came through or what have you, and that's what you got to do. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this exterior and in a second, but let me get you some really sweet drone footage. Okay, let's just do it like this because I have the drone set up, and so I thought, well, we can just fly around outside because you probably can't hear me outside anyways because, again, the wind is whipping out here. But this is that new rear bumper you can see, right? And it's got dual exhaust going on there. It's kind of, it looks like it's got some cladding back there as well. Looks like. Let's take a real close look. There we go. Yep, got some cladding on the rear bumper. You got the dual exhaust back there. It's kind of a nice, aggressive look. I can see why they were kind of pointing that out in the press release and stuff. Honda Passport all-wheel drive there on that badging, and then the other badge to the right, if I can zoom in here, it says Trailsport. There's your Trailsport badge. Okay, my drone is like, you're getting too close. Let's go around the side here, and I guess we'll go around this side. I pressed the wrong button. There's your side profile. Look pretty cool. I mean, again, it's not like a, oh my gosh styling. It's like, oh no, it's really conservative, but a lot of people really like this look. Now, I am, of course, right in the sun, so this front end's gonna be kind of crazy, but let's see. Let me turn around for a second. Let me go around. Let me turn around because you can't see a darn thing. Let's have a little fun with it, because why not? Okay, so now I can't see a darn thing inside the cabin, but you know what? This isn't about me, folks. It's about you, the viewer. So let's keep going forward. Yeah, kind of a nice, like I said, nice side profile. Looks like a big CRV to me. Let's whip this thing around. This is kind of fun. Maybe I should do all my exterior stuff like this. All right, come here. Okay, so what do we got here? We have some LED lights are standard throughout the lineup. We have all-wheel drive. Again, we have the 8.1 inches lift. We have the expanded grille, so it's got more of a aggressive front end. You can see that expanded grille. Trailsport badge there in the upper right-hand corner of that grille, and the daytime running lights are on. Let me turn the lights on. Let's see. There is your lights. Yeah. So, yep, there you go. Interesting to turn them on during the day. Let's see. So, side. Oh, the tires. Let me see if I can get a good look at these tires. All right, there we go. It's challenging my drone skills. Okay, so that's a good profile of the tires. These tires are specific to the Trailsport, and so you can't get them in different trims. It's kind of a nice, aggressive look, you can tell on that. And this is, by the way, this is going to be your platinum white color on the exterior. And these are 18-inch wheels, by the way, as well. 9-speed automatic transmission, 280 horsepower. I'm sorry, I misstated that. Must be 268 foot-pounds of torque. That's what I was thinking. The platinum white, as you see here, is $395 upcharge. So let's take one more look at this before my battery dies. And there's the scenery. Wintertime, Western Nebraska. Yeah, there's some cows out there, so I can't go too far. I drive, so I can drive up those hills, but right now I can't because cows, and I don't know the way around to get up there. Yeah, so there you go. A little Subaru, I guess I would say, a little Subaru, maybe. I see a little Outback in this if this was a little bit lowered down, but yep, there it is. There is the exterior of the Honda Passport Trailsport. Okay, enough of the exterior. Let's get back to the house and show the details. And of course, you get back to the house, what happens? Yeah, my audio drops out, so this complete file has no audio. So I'm going to kind of narrate this. I'm showing you the Trailsport badge a little closer. I want to give you a little more view of the exterior. I just, obviously I couldn't do it with the field the way it was. See that kind of two-tone metal look on the tires, on the wheels. And then you have the little bit more aggressive tires. They are 18s, and they're, I think, Destination Tires. Destination Tires, great name. So this is like your interior as far as you'd see it in real life. I saw you put some footage on the screen. But see these cubby holes I'm pointing out right there? That's really what made the Honda a big hit with my wife. Just all these little places to put things. What's interesting is you can't really fit a cup holder in the door, the way the door is designed. But you have cubbies for purses, for tissues, for gum, for keys, for all sorts of stuff that goes on in there. We do have that is the latch for the tailgate and the fuel door. Controls, set buttons. So this is an odd Timism. I'm pointing this out because my CRV broke many times right there. And this is actually a nicer, better material. I don't know how many times we replaced a CRV with a door handle. It was ridiculous. So yeah, that's really the interior, the way it looks. You have Trailsport, you have the big rugged floor liners, which are really cool. The powered seats with lumbar. That's definitely neat. I like lumbar and I like the rugged floor mats. About 1,000 pounds of payload, so you're not going to have a whole lot of people inside the cabin. And you tow about 5,500 pounds, so not a lot going on there either. There are different sensors there. And it's got an interesting thing. There's a little button below that parking sensor. I kind of look at it one more time. And it's a heated windshield wiper function, which is a common sense thing for me in western Nebraska, but doesn't always wake up for other automakers to do. Windshields get frozen. Doesn't matter how many times you try to take your windshield wipers up, it gets frozen up. Really comfortable seats, really lots of good padding, and that little armrest is really unique to Honda, and I really kind of like it. Interesting point here I'm making is how much lower the center console is. So typically center console is pretty high. This is pretty low, and I was really impressed with that because you can put stuff on top of it. So you have a big storage underneath, and then you can put your phone or your purse or whatever. You can put your stuff on top of that. That's my drone bag, not my man purse, my drone bag. And you can still have room, and so it is a nice kind of design on this unibody platform to have that set up that way. And then here's your controls. You have that shifter, which people love and hate. There is a wireless charger there as well, and some USB plugs there too, further up. That you can't quite see because my camera work was terrible today as well. Things that happen. Little cubby hole there above the, so again, a little more cubby holes, heated seats there too. I do have controls for the rear AC, you can see up there as well. And there's your HVAC controls. Push button start, which is pretty handy. You can have the key in your pocket. Keyless entry, push button start, never get the key out. There's your auto start stop function. People love that, push that button. And then below that, drive modes, different drive modes like snow and things like that I kind of had fun with. I didn't need snow mode there, but it was fun to have. And then I'm going to show you the mirror. And then there is your touchscreen, which it's pretty fast. And again, right by my left hand is that volume knob. And that was something that Honda added after, I think the Ridgeline came out with just a slider. And again, I just like the fact that they listened, they tried it, it didn't work, they made a change. Simple. I make mistakes all the time, like I forget to plug my audio cable in. So there you go. Also showing how big the windshield is. Typically a lot of brands have that infotainment screen set up so much higher, and so you lose part of the windshield visibility. A little bit kind of some styling, not over the top, very conservative as far as the company goes. And stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the back row. You can see I kind of touched the headrest there, trying the Trailsport name. And we have the second row. Again, pretty simple design and lots of cup holders, though, in the door is a little bit better there. It's always interesting that speaker always gets dirty with your shoes. It's kind of a weird placement. It's always every brand does the same thing, though. USB's there, little cubby hole there, and your HVAC controls there for your vents. Your vents are there, and HVAC controls are up front. That's what I'm pointing at there. And we will come around here in a second. We have the map holder, which is interesting. It's an option on the Chevy Colorado, which is kind of if you saw the other videos in the Chevy Colorado, it is kind of weird. Some brands are making that an option. A good amount of headroom there, and then that seatbelt goes down to the second seat, and then this I'm going to show you here in a second my leg room. And then this is a visor. It pulls the visor up, and you can actually get some sun blockage in the second row, which is really important for long road trips with families and kids and things. Okay, let's wrap up the rear here. And so opening that rear up, you can see the Trailsport badge there as well. And oh, hey, look, I put my golf clubs back here because I thought it was a really good example of what rear storage room is like. This is my travel bag, my golf clubs. I'm going to put them sideways here, and they actually fit across the back. Okay, so those golf clubs sit behind the back, and then you can put some roller boards back behind, roller bags should be behind there. So lots of good storage back there in the Honda Passport Trailsport. Total retail price is $44,090, built in Lincoln, Alabama. And again, 21 combined, 19 city, 24 highway. So that's what I got for you this week on the Honda Passport Trailsport. I do apologize, all technical difficulties getting this video done. Just a byproduct of my time and an audio failure on the camera. So sorry about that. For more, check the videos over here, website down below, pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.